How's it going, everybody? I'm Edward Peace, and this is Character Corner, a new show I'm starting on Hangout, in which we delve into some characters and their arcs, who they are as individuals, things that are in character for them, out of character for them, what their stats are, pretty much anything that can relate to character that I feel like talking about, and it's something that I can definitely go into, if you know me, pretty deeply, and spend a long time talking about it and get way off topic. So, I got some notes. But Endgame comes out in a few days, and so right now this is going to focus on the original 6 Avengers in the MCU. And not necessarily what I think is going to happen to them in Endgame, but things that maybe not quite could happen to them, but going forward, things that are definitely not going to happen, or could happen. There's a lot of talk online about people wanting Captain America and specifically Iron Man to retire, and we're going to go into that a little bit. But we're going to start off with Black Widow. She's the spy, she's the assassin, she was trained in the Red Room, her tubes are tied, she can't have kids, feels kind of like a monster for it, but is super smart, does what she feels needs to be done, but is also kind of self-serving in a way. Probably won't retire. She's always going to be out there fighting the fight. She always does what she thinks is right. You see that in Captain America the Winter Soldier, in which she appears before the court and talking about how, I believe it's, they shouldn't hunt. No. She's saying how that they'll need them. So she's there. They wanted to criminalize her for putting out S.H.I.E.L.D. secrets, I believe. And she's saying how they shouldn't do that. She did what needs to be done, and that they know where to find her when they need her again. In Age of Ultron, she pushes Banner off the cliff at the end in order to bring out the Hulk, because she wasn't going to run away from that fight. She could. She had the option to, but she saw that fighting that fight was what was worth it. She was down for blowing up that city with herself on it, simply because that was the right thing to do. It wouldn't have killed everyone down below, and yeah, it was, she does what she thinks is right. But she's also self-serving to a degree. In the Civil War, she agrees with the court, she signs them, she goes to the meeting at the UN in Berlin, I believe. But then she still helps Cap and Bucky escape Black Panther because she feels that's the right thing to do as well. So, always does what she thinks is right, even if it's not necessarily the best thing for her, but she still kind of has her best interests in mind as well a lot of the time. Probably won't retire. She's more than likely going to be killed at some point. I think she also doesn't feel worthy just because of what she did in the Red Room. She thinks of herself as a monster. But what they've done in her life are those that she cares about and will probably get killed, not necessarily in Endgame, but she won't retire in the future. Hawkeye, he's kind of an easygoing Avenger. He has a lot of skills, as is Black Widow. They both have a lot of experience. He's the one who brings her in. He brings Black Widow into S.H.I.E.L.D. He brings the twins into the Avengers. He kind of jokes around a bit. He has a lot of fun, but kind of contrary to being a very straight shooter. He tells it like it is, but he has a lot of fun with it. And his main goal to retire is for his family. So if his family's not there, he probably won't retire and will keep working. If his family's there, he will retire and just go and spend time with them. He's definitely a family man at heart. Cares a lot about the people around him. Heart of gold. Always sees the good in people. That's why he didn't take out Black Widow, but brought her into Shield. Um, yeah, but he only wants to retire with his family. So if his family's there, that's an option. He's always going to take that. He will come out of retirement to help his friends if they're on the side of what he believes, but he will ultimately, his goal is to retire. And he will probably retire at some point. Hulk. Both Banner and Hulk. But Banner would just like to work, doesn't want to worry too much about... He's kind of ashamed of the Hulk, doesn't want to let the Hulk out. He just wants to work. Retire, relax, just do science, keep pushing limits, but doesn't necessarily like fighting. Will fight if he needs to, and he understands that the Hulk has a role in everything, but he believes in and will do what's right, but will retire if given the chance. Hulk, kind of the same thing. He just wants to retire. He essentially does retire on Sakaar before he leaves, before Banner leaves with Thor. This is all in Ragnarok. He would retire, but Hulk would retire. He'll fight to protect himself, but kind of just wants to be left alone, live in peace. You see, he has like very cushy, like a cushy apartment on Sakaar, which he has for being the champion, which he was forced to do. He didn't necessarily choose to become the champ to fight there, but then he did, and he won, and so now he can retire, and he can just, or he can keep working on it, but in fighting, but it's like once every now and then, and he's good. So he doesn't want to keep fighting. He'd rather retire. But he's also practically immortal, so he probably won't die, depending on how they go, how much they follow the comic books. Probably won't die, but will ultimately retire if given the chance. Thor also would retire pretty much instantly if given the chance. I like Thor. He's a great character, but and his title may be Thor, God Thunder, Protector of Midgard, but if you look at it, he doesn't really care about Earth. In the first one, he was banished to Earth, and only was there because he was only here because he was here. In Avengers, he only comes to Earth looking for Loki. He sees that Loki might be alive, but he only comes to Earth looking for Loki, and then all that happens, and he stays for a bit. And the second one, he only comes back for Jane, his girlfriend. The girl he really likes, because the lady he really likes, because she's inhabited by an Infinity Stone, and so he comes here, takes her back to Midgard, the Convergent, and then jumps back and forth for a few reasons. Takes her back to Asgard, not Midgard. They jump back and forth, and ultimately the final battle happens on Earth. But then he returns to Asgard. In Age of Ultron, he's only here because they're looking for Loki's scepter, and they think they found it, so he's helping them with that. And he was there for like a certain amount of time, because he says he'll return in 3 days, or that they have 3 days with it. He was returning to Asgard in 3 days, and so they have 3 days with the scepter. And so he doesn't really care about necessarily what's going on Earth, but he's helping out because he's there. So if he's here, he'll help out. If he's not, he's gone. And the third one, yes, he only comes to Earth because that's where here is where Loki had Odin. And so he's only on Earth because he's looking for Odin. Once they find Odin, then Odin dies, then they're running from Hela, but then he doesn't come back to Earth until Infinity War, in which he only comes to fight Thanos, who killed his brother, destroyed his people, has the most powerful weapon in the universe, and is trying to assemble it. So he's not necessarily there to protect Earth. Thanos just happens to be on Earth. They knew Thanos was heading to Earth. Thanos wasn't even on Earth then, but probably knew Thanos was heading there because they knew Vision had the Time Stone there. They knew Vision had the Mind Stone there, he might have known about Strange having the time stone there. I'm not sure. Though Strange had it on Titan at that point, but whatever. So he's also practically immortal and can and probably will retire, especially given the chance. Captain America. Everyone wants him to retire. He will not. I like Captain America, not my favorite Avenger, but he will not retire. He does what he feels is right, always has, always will. Like the entire country turns his back on him. He then turns his back on the country and leaves, becomes a fugitive, still continues to do the right thing. He's no longer Captain America, he's Nomad, but will always continue to do what he believes is right and help people. Probably became like a street level hero for a bit in that time between Civil War and Infinity War. But he's always helping people out. He's always trying to do what he feels is right. And he's not going to just sit idly by. He can't retire. He's going to have to die. Best time would probably be an Endgame, but I don't know if he's going to do that or not. If they're going to go that route or not. It's up to other people, but potentially. Iron Man. Probably my favorite from the original six. My favorite from the original six. He rose from abasement to grace. He probably was trying to repent a lot because he made a fortune ending lives with all of his weapons. Now he's trying to save the world. He's doing a bunch of different humanitarian stuff. He turns a bunch of his weapons into his first suit. And ultimately would love to retire. That was the entire plot of Age of Ultron. Creating a robot that could replace them and defend the entire Earth. And then it didn't go well, so he learned from that. So he's probably not going to try that again, or not going to try it anytime soon. But since he couldn't do that, now he's the one who's fighting to protect Earth. And so he's also going to make sure Earth isn't left alone, so he's going to raise up the next generation of heroes, but he's not going to let them fight alone. He's always going to be there fighting with them. That's why he wanted Spider-Man to stay low, be more street level, and why he was there, why he always was like checking in on Spider-Man, making sure he wasn't getting into too much. But then also like gave him all those suits in Age of Ultron. They had the Iron Legion, makes all these upgrades. He wants to retire, but he's not going to let other people fight while he still can, which means he has to die. I like Iron Man, my favorite original Avenger, but he has to die. Best time to do it would be Endgame. Will they? Probably not. Oh, well, no, probably. I don't know. I'm not making any predictions for Endgame. Be the easiest time to do it, but who knows? And that's kind of the original six Avengers. And a little bit of whether or not they could survive Endgame or they'll retire. Namely, what they're going to... how their arcs have gone and how their characters have been set up and what options are on the table for them. There are others to choose. Granted, if the powers that be decide to deviate from their characters, anything could happen. But as far as like from a character development standpoint, the way I see it, that's how it has to go. I'm Edward Peace. This is Character Corner. Later.